All right, we are snap. We are live. Drinking some of my coffee that I made. Some good coffee. Tell you, man. Sometimes, life is tough. It's tough. But you gotta fight through the tough, I try my best, to be there for my grandma as much as I can, Tried to call her, no pickup. Of course, it's kind of late, but they're an hour behind, It's just, one of these days, man, I already know the inevitable. I'm gonna have to bury her one day, That's something I don't want to do. I've had time to call her on my days off. Because, I can't call her. Because, I'm always working. But, and with her being in the hospital, I don't even know. But I try. I know that's what counts. Once you've lived your life, man, you should be good to go, No more suffering. You don't gotta work so hard. You just go with the flow. You just rest. I know I still got a long time before I die. So all I do is just work. All I do, work. One day my time will be here, one day. Just not anytime soon. So until that day comes, I'm going to be working my butt off. Every single fucking day, But it's my grandma, bro, That's what's tough. I remember when I was homeless, she couldn't get off the phone with me. She wouldn't. She'd stay on the line till I passed out. Of course, she's retired and all that, so. But me, at that time, I was just a kid in an adult's body, man. Mentally out of it. But know this, though. I don't forget what she did. Now, granted, she's not in the hospital for stuff that's severe. That's gonna be life-threatening. Just when we were up there in Illinois not long ago, I sat with the suffering, man. Just sat there with it. And, she tells me that, she thinks that not everyone who visits her in the hospital and stuff like that and whatnot, she don't get no visitors and nothing. She told me she just spends the day just watching these Turner classic movies. you know. But she stuck with me through when I was homeless. Every single night it was the same thing. She would not get off the phone until I passed out. I do my best, you know, to return the favor. But gotta think, man. The elderly, it's a whole different ball game. And when you got so much life ahead of you, and you find your purpose in life, and you find out how to properly live life, you find out that it's really hard to find time for other lives. Because life itself is a do-it-yourself project. I work myself on myself. But it's hard. And you know, I honestly just don't want a barrier. Not anytime soon. But of course, that's selfish, you know. It's no different from when my tattoo artist retired. My caseworker taught me, you gotta let him go. You can't hold on to stuff, especially people. That feels good. Just getting it all out. But when it's your time to go, you gotta go. That's life. You know, my tattoo artist, he's doing great things now. And you know, you gotta treat the elderly the same way. When it's their time to go, it's their time to go. But that's the part of life, though. People come, they teach you a lesson, and then they go. They gotta go elsewhere because they got more people to teach, you know. I believe my grandma lived this long to be there for me when I was really mentally out of it. because we both were there for each other. You know, I helped her mentally. She learned a lot more about her diagnosis because we both got the same one. I mean, she ain't dead, guys. She ain't dead. But I already know it's gonna happen one of these days. Because on my days off, you know, I'm extra hard on myself. But I usually get my grandma, give her a call after my first workout. But the movie I was watching, it must have been just a little tad bit too long. But I'll get her next day off. Sundays and Wednesdays. And don't get me wrong, death is beautiful. It's a beautiful concept. It's just when someone who has impacted you so much, it's hard to let go. But you have to. That's a part of life. They're going on to whatever's next. Whatever you believe is what you believe. All I know is I got a long life ahead of me. So I kill myself every single fucking day. Every single fucking day. I kill myself to the point to where it's hard to fucking get up in the morning. Because it fucking is. Shit, and it's like every single fucking day off, man. Your boy's sleeping the day away. Your boy's sleeping the day away. Because during my work days, I ain't getting no sleep. But the thing is a lot of people, they don't find purpose in life until they got, kids and stuff. But the thing is they're not even following their purpose. They're following whatever fits what's going to fit with the lives that are responsible for, under my responsibility, That's why you got a lot of, very hard-working fathers out there, or mothers, working 3-some jobs to provide or something. They're not living for them. They're living for the kids the best as they can. They sacrifice their whole life. You know what I mean? I read a quote today. It was about toxic masculinity. And, it was actually pretty accurate, Let's see if I can find this quote real quick. Yeah, guys, I get really emotional over my grandma. Because that's my best friend, man. She's been there when no one else was, Let's see here. And I just want to be there to the best of my ability for her like she was there for me. My dang cell service is really, really slow. But, gosh, I want to see that quote because it really made me think, I mean, yeah. The quote was basically defending what people consider toxic masculinity and all this stuff. But when it comes to a work environment, if they can just, if it'll just load. Here we go. Let's see here. Well, where is it? Oh my gosh, this is gonna take forever to find. Survival, blah blah blah. I could probably just go down. But anyway. Yeah, man. I'll just scroll down until I find it. But yeah, my grandma though, she's just been there for me through a very tough time for me. And you know, I know what she's going through is tough right now too. But the thing is like, you know, when you're that age, I honestly don't think that you really think about much, really. Like, you just go wherever comfort lies. And that's one of my grandma's things, is she just sleeps when she can. 'Cause that's where comfort is. Trying to find this post. But when you got a whole life ahead of you, you don't got time for comfort. The only thing you got time to do is live. And if you don't got any kids or anything, or any kind of responsibilities, such as like a pet or something, and it's just you just live for yourself, work on yourself. And when you work on yourself, you just start to learn more about yourself, man. You get better at whatever it is that you're into. And you just continue and continue and continue. Maybe find other interests and stuff. But you gotta keep remembering that it's all about you. But when you bring an innocent life into this, an innocent life, well then, now you're changed. Now your life has changed. If you want a success with your life, well, now it's time for you to be some kind of a success for the life that you put here. You know, I gotta find this quote. Man, this thing must really show. They must have shared this one like a while ago. But yeah. I know that my efforts with trying to call my grandma and stuff, even though it didn't pick up, I know it counts. I know it does. You gotta remember that, guys. Whatever your actions, as long as you're acting, you know, in the right manner, it counts. Whether they pick up or not, you know. I know she's asleep, probably. I wish I could find this quote. But anyway, basically, they were talking about, you know, they were defending the title of toxic masculinity about the people who work in construction, work in the machinery, blah, 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 like work in these very hard jobs. And it was defending something about that. And of course now my phone shut off, so that stupid phone. Not a stupid phone, because I look at it like when it does that, it's telling me to get off my butt and quit looking at stuff. So the phone will just clip. It'll just snip off. And it's like, okay, it's telling me to get up. All right, I'm up. I'll stop reading quotes. But it was defending these tough jobs that a lot of the more brute type of people work, you know. And to be honest, you know, not all of them are like that. I work with a guy who worked construction for pretty much a long time. He ended up running his own construction thing. But now he's working in the call center with me because his body just can't take it no more. You know, he's just like, I'm just getting too old for it. I just want to spend time with the kids I got. And I liked that. I liked his reason behind it too. You know, that showed a lot of self-acknowledgement. Where a lot of people who work those kind of jobs, they didn't really have a choice. Now, I don't know his story. I don't know about all that, but I loved the reason why he stopped. But not only was it because he couldn't take it no more, his body just couldn't handle it no more, but he acknowledged that he's got kids that he wants to be there for while they're still kids. And I really like that. I really like that ideology that, you know, he brought forth. But, you know, there's a lot of people that work those jobs. They didn't have a choice, you know. They didn't have a choice at all. They messed up, got kids. You know, they didn't have a choice. And a lot of the people that are quote-unquote toxic masculinity, they suffered a great deal in life, which is why they are considered to be so toxic. But you know, the quote that he posted, defending it, it was like, he was right though. Like, I wouldn't be working those kind of jobs. I don't know anything about that type of stuff, you know, and I have no interest in doing that type of stuff. Now, granted, like building houses and stuff, that stuff sounds cool. It sounds cool. It sounds creative. It sounds all that stuff, because you are doing a benefit, because you're literally building a home for someone that's going to be living there. But like, you know, like the stuff that goes on with doing all that and stuff, and I don't know anything about that stuff. I'd be jumping in a whole different ball game that I really don't have an interest in doing, unless it was my only option. And that's usually where it goes down to. You know, when an innocent life is brought into this world, a lot of people, they try their best to just stop what they're doing, and they grab what they can. I gotta do something different with my life. Now, there are some people that just continue to be a deadbeat, and, you know, that just goes on with life. But there are a percentage where they do their best to just provide. That's the least they can do. They might not be able to be there for the kid or anything emotionally or anything, but they're doing their best by just providing, you know. That's pretty much what my dad was. My dad, he did everything in his power to provide, you know. We weren't really close at all, ever. Never was. We never had that, you know. But he did everything in his power to provide, you know. So really, reading that thing that was posted on that, it really made me think a lot. And it made me think a lot about my dad, you know. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of men who work those tough jobs that are usually very toxic. But the thing is basically, they had no choice, probably. They got into that job field because they probably fucked up somewhere in life, and they needed something to help them out, to you know, be an impact, at least some kind of an impact to whatever just happened, you know. There's a variety of different reasons why they're working that job, you know. But it just made me think of my dad, you know. He did everything that he could to provide, you know. But the thing is all you can do is just wish them well. You just wish them well. You just hope that they heal. You hope they get better mentally. But a lot of those people that work those kind of jobs, they use their job as an outlet for their mental. They don't want to think about how much damage is done mentally throughout their whole life that they need to come to terms and peace with. They just work it off, you know. And so and that's for a lot of people too that work those kind of jobs. They just Any mental problem, going to work, going to work, going to work, going to work, going to work. It's no different from how I'm doing, because like my friend, she brought up, James, do you think you use the gym as a crutch? Definitely. I can acknowledge that I do use it as a crutch, because I don't want to go back to who I used to be. I don't want to go back to that. I want to go back to who I was. I'm doing a lot better, I haven't been manic in 2-something years, like two and some change. Like, I'm not going back. I'm not going to go back to hanging out with who I used to hang out with. I'm not going to be going downtown all the time and all that stuff. I ain't got time for that, I found my purpose. I found my meaning. I've healed, I healed, and I'm just going to keep going. Ever seen me downtown is just for karaoke, and that's it. Because at the end of the day, everything else is just a trap. That's all it is. Everything else is just a trap. You get caught in a trap, you'll get sucked right back in. That's just how it is. But, So, with me constantly making, the right decisions. Now, I ain't no saint or nothing, but, my paranoia has saved me from a lot, a lot. It's probably also got me out of, stuff that could have been a benefit just because I wasn't used to it at the time. And that's one thing that I've learned from my friends that I have, They taught me to embrace difference and, embrace difference when it comes around, especially if it's something that you're not familiar with. Heck, my caseworker taught me that too, As long as you can acknowledge that it's no harm to you or anything, then just accept it, Let it come, and when it goes, let it go, Now, if it's detrimental, then don't. Now, I'm not talking about like anything like substance related or anything like that. What I'm talking about is like more like someone approaching you in a different manner, basically. Or maybe they're wanting to talk about something completely different that you never ever spoke about, Instead of veering away from them, hear what they got to say, Hear what they got to say. Hear what they got to offer, Because there's something for you to learn. Whenever you see someone who is completely different, out of the ordinary, and they approach you, embrace it. See what they got to bring to the table. You could learn something. Life, everyone is suffering, though. That's what life is. If you ain't suffering, you must be dead. Because that's all life is. It's just suffering. It's one big ounce of suffering. And you just gotta fight through it all the time. Is there joy in it? Yeah, the joy is that you wake up stronger than you were yesterday. You wake up stronger than you were yesterday. Now get back to doing it. That's all it is. A lot of people can't handle that. So what did they do? They go right back to comfort. The more you wait, the more you postpone it, the harder it's going to be to get into that routine. But you got to continue to fight through it. Fight through the pain. Fight through it all. At the gym, I recently met a woman, really inspiring as heck. She's been coming in every single day, running. And I mean, she kicks butt, dude. Like, she kicks butt. And like, every single fucking day, man. Every single fucking day. And I'm just like, man, it's just inspiring. That's a lot of fight, It's a lot of fight, It's just inspiring to befriend people like that. Because when you encourage them, you might obtain that trait. Because you're being a support, you know. You're being a support. That's why I like the gym. You see people of all different sizes, people doing all kinds of different workouts, and you also see people that got more fight. I mean, yeah, I stay at the gym throughout the night. Someone might come in at 5 in the morning, do way more than I've done because they got more fight. See, I'm going for more sanity reasons. I ain't going for no. I'm not. I was starting to think of Kenny Powers, like he says. Okay, so when the principal comes in, he says, "Kenny Powers, are you here in my office?" And he was like, "Yeah, it's me." He's like, "Yeah, I'm getting ready for the big triathlon, you know. I love running. I bet you know all about that stuff, don't you?" He says, "Sorry, principal. I'm not trying to be the best at exercise. I play real sports." Because Kenny Powers was a professional baseball player that retired. Well, he got kicked out or something like that. You got to watch it. It's Eastbound and Down, guys. It's one of my favorite shows. Go watch it. But, you know, for me, I go to the gym just for sanity reasons. I don't want to go back to who I was. I haven't even been battling temptation. Temptation, it don't even bother me. It doesn't even come around me no more because I stay so focused within myself. I stay focused on what I got to do, and I just get to it every single night. Every single day, I do what I got to do. I do what I got to do. I got no responsibility. I got no kid. I got no nothing, you know what I mean? I got nothing, you know. Only thing that I care about is my family, and I haven't even been able to go see them because the whole thing with the gas stuff, that stuff is scary as hell. You know, I don't want to be having no gas, you know. Of course, I think now it's gotten fixed. When I was going to go up there, they were going to go on the boat. They wanted me to be there by noon, but my insomnia does not want me to go to sleep ever. I couldn't make it before noon, because then I gotta leave here early because I gotta drive all the way over there. Too early, man. Pass out at 10 in the morning, wake up at 11, be there at 12? Miss me with that, man. But, you know, that's what life is, though, man. It's all work. If you ain't putting in work, you're just suffering. But yeah, so pretty much, though, when it comes to the people who use work as a crutch for their mental health, and yes, it's toxic. It's heavily toxic. But you got to remember, they probably had no choice, you know. They don't even know what it looked like. They don't even know what it looks like to have a healthy mental state no more. They're that far gone, you know. But they're doing what they're doing, their best that they can to provide, you know what I mean? Now with me, you know, having the example of my dad in front of me, you know, with all that stuff that he had going on in his life and stuff, and it latched onto me and put me in fear of a lot, you know. That's why I don't really have problems, you know. I don't really have an alcohol problem. I don't smoke. I don't do none of that because I grew up around the stuff. I never saw joy in that stuff. I never did. Now I never had it, and I won't ever have it because my ass is just a chicken. I'm just a chicken. Like, I really am, you know. Pretty much, you know, the effort that Dad put into whenever I was born, Dad grew up without a dad, you know. He said, "I'm going to do everything in my power to provide." And that's what he did. He worked his butt off at his job. Mama said he was working odd hours too, graveyard, all that stuff. Just putting in work nonstop, you know. Then he got us out of Illinois and got us down here. Worked his way up. Got moved. He moved down here. He did everything in his power to be the best father that he, thought that a father could be. Of course, we didn't hang out or anything. We didn't have father and son time or nothing because he was always working. But he was doing his best to provide. Work was his crutch for his mental health and his bad habits and stuff. That's what was keeping him out of trouble, was work. That's the story for a lot of people. It's work. Now with my dad being the example of all that, and now yes, I go to work. I can afford, well, actually it's getting hard to afford a lot. I'm having to penny pinch a lot. I make shirts on the side because I love it. And, but I get by. But, any free time I have, I go to work. I go to the gym nonstop, working on myself all the time that I have. Any free time I have, I'm at the gym. I'd rather be there than getting caught up, getting in some trouble or something. I'd rather be there. Granted, like I said, I'm a chicken. I'm a chicken of a lot. But I can acknowledge, when I was going downtown, the people I was hanging out with and stuff, we weren't going nowhere. I was just in comfort. Just like everyone else was. Everyone's just in comfort. Familiar faces, familiar places, familiar everything. Nothing new. And since I wasn't a drinker, I did a lot of time by myself anyway. Because a lot of people that hang with me, I talk a lot. I talk a lot. A lot of people, they needed to get to feeling good before they can hang out with me, But I didn't mind. I didn't mind at all. But see, the whole time that I was waiting on everyone else to get tipsy or get high, whatever, before they sat by me and hung out with me and stuff, I could have been doing something more productive, That's why now I'm always working. I'm always at the gym. Even after work, go straight to the gym. Day off? What day off? I'm working double time at the gym. Doing even more. Because honestly, that's what life is. Except I'm making more of a healthier choice than putting it into a hardcore job. Like I said, I don't got no responsibilities. Only thing I'm responsible for is me. That's it. That's it. Who knows, it might be like that all my life. I don't know. I'm just so different from a lot of people, man. I'm just so different. The only thing I know that I am, I'm just a fucking mirror. I'm a mirror to this fucking world, man. I ain't perfect. But I can prove that I was flawed at one time. My arm tells all. People want to ask about my tattoos, ask about them. I'll gladly tell you the story. Because I got a tale to tell. I'll go on for days, man. I'll go on for days. But I wear my story on me. Because I know my story will help people who are just like me or worse than me. You don't know anyone's story. You don't know why they made the choices they made. You just don't know. But all I know is the ending is the same for all. We all die. That's it. All you can do is hope that you lived your life to the best of your ability. Whereas a lot of people, they live to the best of others' abilities because they're being controlled and manipulated their whole life. They don't live under their rules. They live by under others' rules. But I got lucky, man. I got lucky. But I do know if I went back downtown for my third strike, it wouldn't have ended well. It wouldn't have. It wouldn't have. I had every opportunity to pretty much turn into my dad, where before he had responsibility. Every opportunity. And honestly, kids are put into the life to basically bring the parents back to start a fresh life now, because now you're living for the kid. You ain't living for you no more. But a lot of parents, they don't start fresh. They just leave off where they left off, and they just start off in the next chapter. Usually the kid goes forgotten while they're just providing. They're not giving them a lot of emotional closure. Yeah, they give them emotional closure at first, as their little toddler. But when he reaches about 4, 5, 6, it gets less, until you just don't get it no more. People don't understand that that's still part of the developing process. Your kid's going to be developing till about, 25? You know what I mean? When it starts hitting 20, that's when you'll know. I believe you'll start knowing when to not be so emotional with the kid. Because I honestly think it'll just happen. You'll know. I don't know. I've never had it, But I would imagine that's how it is, though. If there was a stable family. I've never met a stable family. Because honestly, I believe all families have their own corruption. All families have all their corruption, because there's a lot of families that were created by accident. All of them. There's a lot of them. Not all of them, but there's a lot of them that were created by accidents. Now, did some of those accidents, did they do right? Did they start fresh? Did they start over in life? Or did they just leave off as if it's just the next chapter? No, there is no next chapter. We ain't talking about your life no more. Your life is those kids right now. You better trash your book, because now you're starting a new book. That's how it's supposed to be. You live for the kid. Once you get the kid, you live for the kid. There is no you no more. You had your shot to live for you. You made an accident. Look at you. Start fresh. Throw the book away. Throw your book away. Because now you got to start over. A lot of people don't understand that. They don't realize that. They don't understand that. Because the kid is going to be a mirror effect of what you got to work on within yourself during its growing process. And if you ain't fixing what you need to fix within yourself, you're going to mold the kid wrong. And you're going to mold it to be incorrect for your comfort. But then when the kid goes out in real world, and everyone's doing what you molded to not do around you, well, they'll start doing around other people outside and all. But when they're around you, they have to be a completely different person. That ain't no way to raise someone. But a lot of people are raised that way, A lot of people are raised that way. And it corrupts the mind. Because what it does is it shows us that we can't be ourselves around other people. You got to be a certain way for some people. You got to be a certain way for these people, a certain way for these people. But when can you be yourself? Oh, you can never be yourself. Shit. I'm myself 24/7, man. I ain't changing nothing. I spent so many years in silence. It ain't going back. I ain't never going back. Ain't never going back to silence. I had my share of downtown, and I had every opportunity to pretty much end up in my dad's shoes, and I didn't. But I know if I went for the third strike, I probably would have ended up with someone, ended up having a fucking kid, and end up just wasting my fucking life. My long life ahead of me, Because that's how it is. When you get indulged in comfort, and you get addicted to comfort, you forget how to live. You only know how to live for the comfort. So when you are in a family that only knows how to live for the comfort, you got these kids who are walking examples of what you need to work on within yourself. Hey, we're living for comfort. We're not living for life. You better stop with that example shit, because I'm not working on anything within myself. I live to get comfortable. I don't live to live, kid. That's pretty much how it is. That's a lot of families, man. But now, kids got phones. Kids got tablets. Kids can run away from themselves. Oh, you thinking about something? Oh, you got some emotion you want to express? Well, express it to this tablet. Express it to this phone. Because your emotions are invalid, kid. Put your face in the phone. That's right. Play your video games. That's right. Yeah. Because I ain't going to hear your stories. That's a lot of families. It's a lot of families. Just put the kids on autopilot. But, I just can't wait to complete all my tattoos, man. To complete my story. I want my story to be told. Yeah. The whole point of life is to live. Not to be comforted. The day comfort comes when I die, that's when that comes. Till then, I'm just living every single fucking day. And the way to live is to work on yourself. If you ain't working on yourself and you're giving in to temptation, temptation has its punishment. You really want to be punished by temptation? Then by all means, dig into temptation. But remember, I have a 3-strike method that I believe will help you if you dabble. First strike, okay, that's just a warning. Second strike, all right, I better stop. Because I definitely don't want to go for the 3rd strike. Because when you get that 3rd strike, that's when you get caught up. And when you get caught up, you don't know how to get out. See, that's a method I created, during school, when I'd befriend people, be friends with people. Eventually, I ended up having no friends at the end of it. Because at the end of it, none of the motherfuckers were my friends. Every person was somehow picking on me. You know what I mean? Because I was just so different. Anytime I said something, I was just so repetitive. Everything. I was just so different from everybody. But a lot of people, they put the bullying mentality, where they put you down for being so different. They just consider that joking. See, that's why I have trouble befriending, a lot of people that are like that, because there are a lot of guys specifically. I have met some mean women too. But those were the ones that I would just attract. I think they were just naturally mean. But actually one of them did. I remember one of them, she was just really, really mean. But that was her way of flirting. But she was just really mean. And I remember I just straight up ignored her to her face. Like, anytime she came around me, I was just ignoring her. Because I didn't play that shit. Like, man, I heard that shit when I was in high school, man. I ain't fucking hearing that bullshit no more, I ain't playing that shit. But see, that's the problem. A lot of people don't know how to stand their grounds. They look at that as cute, and they enable it. They enable that type of behavior. You don't enable that type of behavior. You don't be friends with people that constantly put you down. Because when you do it, you're enabling the behavior. You're saying that this is okay. So therefore, a lot of other people are going to treat you the same way. You got to set boundaries. You got to set barriers. Because the barriers and the boundaries that you create are protecting who you really are. And if you let those type of people inside your barriers and your boundaries, you're losing your identity in the process. And when you lose your identity, you don't know who the fuck you are anymore, because you've been putting up with so much bullshit. You know? But, all in all, strike method works out if you dabble with temptation and want to go live for comfort. But the thing is there's a lot of minds that's how we were raised, to be comforted. Well, did you and your family do a TV night? Yeah, that was like every night. Eat dinner in the front room, watch the television while we all watch TV, eat our foods while we all watch television, watch the same goddamn shows. Pretty much a predictable day. Oh, it's Meatloaf Monday. Oh, it's Taco Tuesday. Uh-oh, it's Wings Wednesday. Uh-oh, it's Tuna Sandwich Thursday. Oh yeah, French fry casserole Friday. Uh-oh, Saturday slice of pizza day. Uh-oh, Sunday spaghetti night. Just stuff like that. Oh, we're going to watch our favorite movie. Probably every Saturday you watch movies. Every Friday and Saturday. Because, you know, that's when mom and dad don't got to work as hard. You know, they're off on the weekends. Probably pop in a movie. Probably get you, like, some good food and whatnot. And you just camp out in front of the TV. That's it. You know, there's no bonding. No nothing. Just TV and food and familiar faces. Comfort. That's pretty much embedded in our brain, you know. That's embedded in our brain. We work for comfort. But life is not about comfort. Life is about living. And people forget how to live when they have given in to the sculpture of what society has been molded into, because they have been doing that same process for so long. They don't know any different. They're comforted by it. They don't know any different, so they just do what they got to do. But that's one thing about being the complete difference, you know, in life. You realize that life is just all on you. It's a do-it-yourself project. The right one will come along. You don't go looking for it. The right one will come along. I believe that. The right one will come along. Just right now, for the time being, you just focus on yourself. When you focus on yourself, you do great things for your life. Every time you dodge temptation, you dodge a bullet. But if you give in to temptation, you can only take so many hits before your life is over. When your life is over, you fucked up. Now you got a lot of addictions. Now you got a couple kids. Now you got baby mama drama, or maybe more than one baby mama, or maybe more than one baby daddy. You know what I mean? You got yourself in all kinds of trouble now. Look at you. Why'd you do that? The only thing to do is be the difference in the situation. That's how you correct it. And I believe that's what a lot of those, going back to the hard working jobs with the toxic masculinity, the people that, you know, had no choice but to have those kind of hard working jobs to provide the best that they can, you know. They know that they acknowledge that they got to leave that life. But the only ways to leave the life is through work, you know. But luckily, with my dad's example, my self-work is just at the gym. So that way I'm taking care of my mental health and everything, so I stay sane, you know, stay sane so I can be there for tomorrow if I ain't dead yet. But I tell you, man, I work my butt off just to get death. You know, I get to get death. You work your butt off just to get death. I want to embrace it. I want to feel it. I want to go with it. But I know when it's not my time, I got to keep living. But when it is my time, then I don't have to work. I don't have to live. Because I'm dead. You know what I mean? For the time being, though, every day that I'm given, every time that I'm given, if I'm given more time, another day, I gotta live. I'm not gonna sit there in comfort and just drive myself insane in my apartment. You know? I'm just gonna do my best and live. Just live. But you gotta live for yourself. Death will come when he's ready, you know? But when he doesn't, you gotta work. You gotta live. Work on yourself. Be the best self you can be. But when it's your time to go, you ain't gotta worry about being the best self anymore. You can actually relax. And I think that's beautiful. I really think that's beautiful. The reason why a lot of people are so scared of death and talking about death, because they fear the unknown. There ain't nothing unknown about it. It's reality. People think they're immortal. They think they can take everything, you know. All the substance abuse and all that other stuff that you took in your body. You know, you think life's all about comfort. That's what I mean. You get addicted to the comfort. But you ain't addicted to the suffering and how to live with the suffering. Not a lot of people know how to live through the suffering, you know. When you live through the suffering, there's great rewards. Because when you live through the suffering, you create a stronger version of yourself each and every day. But when you constantly hide from the suffering through substance or something like that, you're really not taking in what life really is. I believe there's a big solid reward within death somewhere. You work your butt off for so many years on yourself, working on yourself, doing what you got to do to live your best life to your rules and regulations and all that bullcrap. Something's got to give. Why else would this world be made so tempting? You know what I mean? There's something at the end. To dodge every single bullet, every single ounce of temptation to come your way, and you dodge it because you got better things to do, good for you. That's awesome. There's something at the end of that, and if not, you get the sheer comfort of death. That's all. You ain't got to work as much. Actually, you don't got to work at all because you're not living. But when you're given the next day, you better start living because you got another day to be stronger than who you were yesterday. Ah, man. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, man, I went over the board. 35-23, right on the money, man. Jeez. All right, guys. Well, I'm heading out. Y'all stay positive. I'm out. Peace.